10 classic rap songs that got played so much, they rewrote the rules. You know the hooks. You've heard the beats 1,000 times on the radio, in your car, at every party, wedding, and block gathering since the 90s.
Drove to the pad and hit the showers. Didn't even get no static from the cow.
But here's what the streaming numbers and the airplay data don't tell you: the industry politics, the sample clearances that almost didn't happen, and the moments that turned these tracks into the most played songs in rap history. Let's talk about what really happened. Number 10, Big Poppa, the Notorious B.I.G, 1995. You probably heard this song before you even knew who Biggie was. It was everywhere. Hot 97, Power 106, every club from Brooklyn to L.A. The Isley Brothers sample was smooth, the hook was perfect. And for the first time in his career, Biggie had a top 10 hit, number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. His breakthrough into pop radio without changing who he was. But here's what nobody talks about. Puffy wanted Biggie to go smoother on Ready to Die, make it more radio friendly. Biggie pushed back on almost every track except this one, and the reason wasn't commercial. It was personal. He wanted his moms to hear him on the radio. Not just Hot 97, real radio, pop stations, the ones she listened to. So he gave Puffy this one, kept the edge, kept the street credibility, but let the Isley Brothers loop do the work. And you know what? It did. The song hit so hard that Bad Boy knew they had a formula. Sample something soulful. Let Biggie be Biggie over it. Don't force the pop crossover. Let it happen naturally. That blueprint would carry them through the next 2 years. But here's the part that still sits heavy. By the time Big Poppa went platinum, Biggie was already being pulled in 2 directions. The streets wanted him raw. The label wanted him commercial. And if you listen to everything that came after Hypnotize, Mo Money, Mo Problems, you can hear both sides of that fight playing out in real time. That's the cost of crossover success. You win the charts, but you start losing the people who thought you were theirs first, and once that trust cracks, it doesn't come back the same way. Number 9, Regulate Warren G featuring Nate Dogg, 1994. Regulate by Warren G featuring Nate Dogg, 1994. This song hit radio so hard in the summer of 94, you couldn't escape it. MTV, The Box, pop stations that never touched West Coast rap before. It peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, kept out of the top spot by I Swear by All 4-1, which, if you were there, you know how wild that is. A G-Funk narrative about a shootout almost knocked off a wedding ballad.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to...
The sample was genius. Michael McDonald's I Keep Forgetting flipped into something that sounded nothing like yacht rock, and Warren G's storytelling felt effortless. You, Nate Dogg, a car, some trouble on the east side, 16 switches in the back, that whole summer vibe. But here's what people forget. Warren G was Dr. Dre's stepbrother, and when Dre left Death Row in 96 and started Aftermath, the whole family got caught in the politics. Suge Knight made it very clear you're either with Death Row or you're the enemy. No middle ground.
The
rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble.
Chords.
Warren G had already blown up by then. Regulate was platinum. This DJ was a hit. He had leverage, but Nate Dogg. Nate was still signed to death row on a bad deal. Couldn't leave, couldn't renegotiate.
They took my Rolex. I looked at the brother, said, damn, what's next?
They got my homie here.
And every time Warren wanted to work with him after that, the clearances got harder. The studio sessions got blocked, the label played games. And if you know Nate Dogg's career after 96, you know he never got the solo success he deserved.
One of them names was sexy as hell. I said, ooh, I like your size.
One of the greatest hooks in rap history, and the industry kept him in the background because of contract politics and label beef. That's the part nobody wants to remember when they hear Regulate at a barbecue. It's a perfect song, but the people who made it perfect didn't get to ride that wave together the way they should have.
The shooting dice, so I said, let's do this. I jumped out the rock and said, what's up?
The industry took care of that. And if you've ever watched someone you built something with get trapped in a contract while you move forward, you know that's a different kind of pain. It's not losing a deal, it's losing your brother.
Had to regulate.
Real talk. Only 9% of you watching this are actually subscribed. That hurts a little, not gonna lie. We spend hours digging through archives, fact-checking every detail, bringing these stories back to life because this music deserves to be remembered. And you're here because you care about that too. So if these videos mean something to you, if you've ever said, damn, I didn't know that, or felt something while watching, just hit subscribe. It's free, takes 2 seconds, and it tells YouTube to show this to more people who love this music like we do. Let's build this together. All right, back to the story. Number 8, Juicy, the Notorious B.I.G., 1994. This is the song that made Biggie a household name. It peaked at number 27 on the Billboard Hot 100, but that number doesn't tell the full story. Juicy was an anthem. It was proof that a kid from Bed-Stuy could make it without compromising. The Eminem sample, Juicy Fruit, was perfect. The lyrics were aspirational without being fake. It was real, but here's what people don't talk about. The first version of Juicy that Biggie recorded got shelved. Puffy didn't think it hit hard enough. The energy wasn't there.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy.
So they went back in. Biggie rewrote the first verse, tightened the hook, and the second take, that's the one you know. And here's the thing about that rewrite. The first version was darker. More focused on what he survived in Brooklyn, the shootings, the dealers who didn't make it out, the friends who got locked up or killed. But Puffy wanted celebration. He wanted aspiration. Salt and Pepper, bins, magazines, the imagery that would make suburban kids want to be part of it. And Biggie trusted him. He let Puffy reshape the vision. And you know what? It worked. Juicy crossed over. It got played on stations that had never touched East Coast rap. It made Biggie a star.
Time to get paid, blow up like the world's trade. Born sinner, the opposite.
But if you listen to Ready to Die all the way through, you can feel the tension. Juicy is the dream. Suicidal Thoughts is the reality. And somewhere in between those two tracks is the truth about what it cost him to be both the street legend and the crossover success.
To my baby girl ear, lunches, brunches, interviews by the pool.
Because the industry doesn't care about the darkness unless they can sell the light too. And once you give them the light, they want you to stay there. They don't want suicidal thoughts. They want more Juicy. And that pressure to keep delivering the version of yourself that sells is exhausting. Especially when the version that sells isn't the version that's true. Biggie never got to figure out how to balance that. He was gone 2.5 years after Ready to Die dropped, and we'll never know what he would have made if he'd had more time, but we know what Juicy gave us, and that's enough to last forever. Number 7, It Was a Good Day, Ice Cube, 1993. This is Ice Cube's highest charting solo single ever, number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 7 on the R&B chart, and it's wild that this was the song that did it not. Check yourself.
Then we played bones, and I'm yelling domino, plus nobody.
Not any of the aggressive tracks from N.W.A, but a laid-back story about cruising South Central, eating breakfast with his family, playing basketball, and not getting pulled over by the cop. The Isley Brothers' sample Footsteps in the Dark was perfect.
The lights of the Goodyear blunt, and it read Ice Cube's a pimp.
DJ Pooh stripped it down, added bass, and let it breathe. And Cube wrote the whole thing himself, which means he collected every penny when the checks came in, and they kept coming for decades. But here's the context nobody remembers.
And believe today was a good day.
Cube recorded It Was a Good Day in the summer of 1992, right after the LA riots. The city was burning, Rodney King, The Verdict, South Central in flames, and Cube was working on The Predator, an album that was supposed to address all of that rage.
Deep put her butt to sleep. Woke her up around 1.
And then he stopped. He was in a hotel room, sitting at the top of the rap game, money coming in, and he thought, wait, I talk about all this gangsta shit, but what about the good days? The days where nothing goes wrong, where you wake up and it's just good.
Get me on the court and I'm troubled. Last week messed around.
So he wrote it, not as escapism, as satire. Because the whole point of the song is how rare it is. The Lakers win. No smog in LA. Nobody he knows got killed in South Central. He didn't have to use his AK. All of that stacked together. That's a miracle, not a Tuesday. And radio heard it as a feel-good anthem. But it's also a commentary on how messed up things are that this counts as a good day. Because the whole point is that it doesn't matter what day it was.
For the murder, 2 in the morning, got the fat burger.
What matters is that for one day, one perfect day, nothing went wrong. And if you've ever lived somewhere where just making it through the day without tragedy is an accomplishment, you know why this song still resonates 30 years later. It's not just nostalgia, it's hope. The idea that maybe, just maybe today could be one of the good ones. And that's why it still gets played at every barbecue, every car show, every summer gathering, because people need that hope.
Ironic. I had the boo, she had the chronic. The Lakers beat the Super Sign.
Number 6, In the Club 50 Cent, 2003. Dr. Dre told Rolling Stone that he made the beat for In the Club in less than an hour. He needed a monster. Something simple. Something that would hit so hard radio couldn't ignore it. 50 Cent walked in, heard it, and wrote the hook on the spot.
Way more than you hate it. Oh, you mad? How could that you be happy I made it?
4 words, universal. Everybody's got a birthday. Everybody wants to party. And that simplicity made it unstoppable. The song debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It stayed there for 9 weeks. It went on to sell over 10 million copies worldwide. And it didn't just make 50 Cent a star, it resurrected Eminem and Dr. Dre's Shady/Aftermath empire at a time when people were starting to count them out. Before In the Club dropped, 50 had been shot 9 times. Left for dead by the industry. Columbia Records dropped him. His deal was gone. Jam Master Jay was trying to help him rebuild, and then Jay got murdered. 50 was blackballed in New York. Nobody wanted to touch him. Then Eminem heard a bootleg of Guess Who's Back and flew 50 out to LA. Dre put him in the studio, and they built Get Rich or Die Trying around him like armor. The marketing was perfect. The mystique was real.
My money on my mind, got a meal out the deal, and I'm still in the grind. Now shorty says she
And In the Club was the battering ram that broke through every door that had been closed. But if you listen to the album, it's not a party record. It's survival music. The club anthem sits right next to Many Men, where 50 is naming the people who tried to kill him. That duality, the celebration and the paranoia is what made the album resonate. Because the people who loved In the Club weren't just celebrating. They were celebrating in spite of everything trying to kill him.
I'm loco, and the plan is to put the rap game in the choke on, fully focused, man.
And that's a different kind of anthem. The song still gets played at every party, every sporting event, every moment that needs energy. But the context, the fact that 50 almost didn't live to record it, is what makes it legendary. Number 5, Stan Eminem featuring Dido, 2000. This song changed what rap could be. It peaked at number 51 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US, but it went number 1 in 12 countries. The UK embraced it, Europe embraced it, and the reason wasn't the beat or the hook, it was the storytelling. Eminem wrote a song from the perspective of an obsessed fan who spirals into madness, kills his pregnant girlfriend, drives off a bridge, and dies, all because Eminem didn't write him back fast enough. And then Eminem writes back in the final verse,
Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my pager, and my home phone.
realizing too late what happened. It's dark, it's disturbing, and it's one of the most important rap songs ever written, because Eminem did what almost no one in hip-hop was doing in 2000. He made himself the villain and the victim at the same time.
I ain't mad, I just think it's stuff you don't answer fans. If you didn't want to talk to me.
He explored parasocial relationships before that term even existed. He showed what fame does to the people who consume it and the people who create it. And here's the part that haunts it. Eminem has said in interviews that Stan was based on real letters, not one fan, multiple fans.
And when you dream, I hope you can't sleep and you scream about it. I hope your conscience eats at you when you.
People who wrote to him with that level of desperation, anger, and obsession. And some of those letters came after the song dropped, using Stan's name like a badge of honor. The song created the term Stan, which is now part of the cultural lexicon, but the industry didn't embrace it at first. Radio didn't want to play a 7-minute song about murder-suicide. MTV censored half the video, and Eminem didn't care. He made it anyway. And Stan exists now as proof that rap can do what literature does. It can hold a mirror up to obsession, fame, mental illness, and the cost of connection. And it can do it better than most novels.
That's my girlfriend. But I didn't throw. I just.
If you've ever felt invisible and wanted someone to notice, you understand Stan. If you've ever been overwhelmed by people wanting pieces of you, you understand Eminem, and that's why it still hits 2 decades later.
Anyways, I hope you get this, man. Hit me back, just a chat. Truly yours, your biggest.
Number 4, Hypnotize, the Notorious B.I.G, 1997. This was supposed to be Biggie's victory lap, the lead single from Life After Death. The Herb Alpert Rise sample was perfect. The video was big budget. The rollout was flawless. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. And climbed to number 1 2 weeks later, but Biggie never saw it hit number 1 because he was murdered on March 9th, 1997, 2 weeks before the album dropped. And Hypnotize became the soundtrack to his funeral. Puffy has said in interviews that they recorded Hypnotize in one take. Biggie walked in, heard the beat, freestyled the hook from Slick Rick's La-Di-Da-Di, and laid down 3 verses without stopping. The confidence in his voice isn't performance, it's real. He knew he was untouchable.
That's how most of these so-called gangsters pass. At last, a nigga rapping about.
And then 6 days after they shot the music video in Los Angeles, he was gone. What's wild about Hypnotize is how much it was played after he died. It was number 1 for 2 weeks. Mo Money, Mo Problems followed it to number 1 a few months later. Biggie became the only artist in history to have 2 posthumous number 1s in the same year. The industry mourned him by making him bigger in death than he ever was in life, but here's what sits heavy about that. Biggie didn't get to enjoy any of it. He didn't get to see the album go diamond. He didn't get to tour Life After Death. He didn't get to watch his kids grow up or see how his music would influence the next generation. He got 24 years, and the industry took every dollar it could from his catalog after that.
Run, 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 you crew run, run. I know you sick of this lame
If you've ever lost someone and watched the world celebrate them only after they're gone, you know that bittersweet feeling. It's beautiful that Biggie's music lives on, but it's tragic that he didn't.
Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flash.
And every time Hypnotize comes on at a party, in a car, on the radio, it's a reminder. The culture celebrates its legends, but it doesn't protect them. And that's the part we don't talk about enough. Number 3, California Love. Tupac, featuring Dr. Dre and Roger Troutman, 1995. This is the song that brought Tupac back from prison. He'd been locked up for 9 months. Death Row bailed him out, and within hours, he was in the studio with Dr. Dre, recording what would become his biggest hit. The song debuted at number 6 and shot to number 1, where it stayed for 2 weeks as a double A-side with How Do You Want It. It went on to top charts in 15 countries. It's been streamed over 1 billion times on Spotify. And it's still the anthem for California, played at every Lakers game, every Dodgers game, every moment the state wants to celebrate itself. But here's the story behind the song. Dr. Dre originally made the beat for himself. It was supposed to be the lead single from The Chronic 2, his follow-up album. But Suge Knight heard it and told Dre, "This is Pac's comeback. Give it to him." And Tupac came in and wrote his verse in 15 minutes. One take, no punch-ins, just raw energy and charisma. That's right. The Mad Max theme video was Jada Pinkett Smith's idea. She pitched the concept, was supposed to direct it, then stepped away and Hype Williams took over. And the result was one of the most iconic visuals in rap history, Tupac in the Thunderdome, the West Coast as a post-apocalyptic wasteland, Roger Troutman on the talk box bringing that funk. But here's what makes the song bittersweet. Tupac recorded it in 1995. By 1996, he was dead, shot in Las Vegas, gone at 25. And just like Biggie, his biggest moments came right before his death. California Love was his commercial peak. All Eyes on Me went diamond. He was untouchable in the culture. Bored, and then he was gone. And the industry kept selling. The estate kept releasing posthumous albums, some good, some exploitative, but the money kept flowing, and Tupac wasn't there to control any of it. If you've ever wondered why California Love still hits so hard 30 years later, it's because of that duality. It's a celebration and a eulogy at the same time. It's the sound of someone at the peak of their power, knowing, maybe feeling that it couldn't last. And that tension is what makes it timeless. Number 2, Gangsta's Paradise, Coolio, featuring LV, 1995. This song was the biggest single of 1995, not just in rap, in all of music. It spent 3 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It topped the charts in 15 countries. It sold over 5 million copies worldwide, and it won Coolio the Grammy for Best Rap Solo Performance. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me if they can't understand. But it almost didn't exist. Stevie Wonder originally rejected the sample clearance. Coolio wanted to flip Pastime Paradise, but the first version of Gangsta's Paradise had profanity in it, and Stevie said no. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my... He didn't want his song associated with explicit content, so Coolio rewrote the whole thing. Took out the cursing, kept the despair, kept the darkness, but made it radio safe, and Stevie approved. The song was recorded for the Dangerous Minds soundtrack. Michelle Pfeiffer's movie about an idealistic teacher trying to save at-risk kids in an inner-city school. And Coolio wrote from the perspective of those kids, the ones who felt trapped, who saw no future, who were living in a gangster's paradise because they didn't see a way out. and it connected not just with people who lived that reality, but with people who had never thought about it. The gospel choir, the somber production. The first line, borrowed from Psalm 23, gave it a weight that transcended genre. Pop radio played it, rock stations played it. It became the first rap song to sell 1 million copies in the UK. He said Gangsta's Paradise took hip-hop to places it had never been. By the late 90s, Coolio was dropped from Tommy Boy Records. He kept releasing music, kept touring, kept grinding, but he never got that mainstream spotlight again. And if you know his story, you know he struggled with that. He struggled with being defined by one song. He struggled with the industry only wanting the version of him that sold. But he also knew what that song meant. He knew it opened doors. He knew it changed lives. And he performed it until the day he died in 2022. An accidental overdose at 59. Gangsta's Paradise is still played everywhere. Sporting events, movies, commercials. It's embedded in culture, but Coolio didn't get to fully enjoy what he built. Number 1, Lose Yourself, Eminem, 2002. This is the most played rap song in history, period. 13 times platinum in the United States, over 2.3 billion streams on Spotify, the highest ranked rap song from the 2000s on virtually every list. It held number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 12 consecutive weeks, and it made history as the first rap song to ever win the Academy Award for Best Original Song. But here's the story most people don't know. Eminem wrote Lose Yourself on the set of 8 Mile during breaks from filming.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already.
He was exhausted. He was playing a fictionalized version of himself, reliving the trauma of growing up poor in Detroit, and he didn't have time to sit in a traditional studio, so he recorded it in a portable studio on set. 1 take per verse, no second chances. The engineer Stephen King told Rolling Stone that Eminem didn't do punch-ins, he just ran it straight through, and when it dropped, it became bigger than a movie soundtrack. It became a sports anthem, a motivational track. But here's what's wild. Eminem didn't go to the Oscars when he won. He thought he wouldn't win. So he stayed home watching cartoons with his daughter. When his name got called, Luis Resto accepted the award on his behalf. 17 years later, Eminem finally performed it at the 2020 Oscars, and the standing ovation lasted minutes. The song never stopped being relevant. In 2022, he performed it with Anderson .Paak at the Super Bowl halftime show, and it shot back onto the charts. It re-entered the Billboard Hot 100 decades after release, because Lose Yourself isn't just a rap song, it's a cultural artifact. It's proof that hip-hop can win Oscars, dominate pop charts, and still feel raw and real. But here's what makes it tragic, too. Eminem has said in interviews that he felt the pressure to top it. Every album after 8 Mile got compared to Lose Yourself. And nothing, not Afraid, Not Love the Way You Lied, not any of his other massive hits carried the same weight, because Lose Yourself wasn't manufactured. It wasn't calculated. It was desperation turned into art. And you can't recreate that. If you've ever had one moment where everything aligned, where the hunger, the talent, the opportunity all collided at once, you know how rare that is and how impossible it is to do it again.
See the thought I caught up between